I'm Ryan Lauder from San Jose State University, Mechanical Engineering, and this project is for Mechatronics ME106. I completed this specific project with my partner Ryan Lewin, and this is going to be a 2D plotter. We've already done a video on the demonstration of it. So just to go over contributions and maybe some things that we would change if we were to do it again. Contribution-wise, we split up the project to begin with, and as a mechanical engineer focused in design, I took most of that lead, and then Ryan was a CS major prior, so he was more focused kind of on the electronics, the coding of it, and being able to interface those two is kind of interesting. So for the design part, everything here minus this base, this aluminum base that was from machined outside, or outsourced, I guess. But everything else here is going to be, everything in blue is 3D printed, which means had to be designed. So I designed most of that on SolidWorks, or all of it on SolidWorks. And that kind of just, to fit in each of these stepper motors, it had to be measured very precise, along with, I don't know if you can see it here, but these rods are going to go into the 3D print and then clamp down. So those had to be machined very precisely as well. When it also comes to here, we have steel rods. These were also just cut and polished and then filed to make them presentable. Being able to roll bearings on it is something that we were a little bit afraid of, but also in this project there's a lot of sheet metal. So sheet metal is just used to reinforce a lot of the 3D printed plastic, and also to house the servo. We have the servo right here, and this is just bent or sheet metal that's been bent or stamped, cut out, and then assembled using just your normal hardware, screws, bolts. Timing belt. This was something that kind of took a little bit of time. This, let's see here, the spring tensioner. The spring tensioner is very interesting. Being able to apply or put a lot of tension onto this timing belt. Kind of had to come up with something, so I was able to do that. Same with this belt right here. This was a little interesting, how I was going to attach the servo and then make sure that everything runs smoothly. So we never really knew until we connected his part with my part, and then which we did a couple weeks ago. We kind of met up, spent the first half of the semester talking about things, and then later 2 weeks ago in the semester we met up and kind of put both sides of our project together and went from there. So like I said, Ryan took over most of the circuits part, as well as just had a lot more history with the programming part. So once we came together, though, we obviously talked about what we did or what he did. I went through my parts, explained how everything was designed or 3D printed, along with what still needs to be done, and he was able to go along with me and go over just the different circuit design. We had to interface the actuators, which we just used these driver boards, the breadboard, and then also including a sensor. In this case was a joystick. That's just actually really two potentiometers. Controls back, forth, up, down, and then a push button to set the pen down onto the paper. So that was all, that part was done by him, and we were able to put that together the first time we met up. And then from there, we both agreed we wanted to maybe incorporate some other stuff. So we worked together to create a library that prints has alphanumeric characters. I don't know if it's showing the right way. That just says SJSU ME106, and that was done by Ryan as well. So like I said, I took care of mostly the mechanical, the design part of this, and then just making sure that when something was plugged into here, when something was coded into here, that it wasn't going to just sputter or not be able to move smoothly. So like I said, or like I showed, we both worked really hard on this project. We were able to get some really good results for what we've done, and it's very enjoyable. It's a great learning experience. If we were to do it again, I think it would be just provide more time for us. The design, looking back, it doesn't seem too hard. I could go through. I'd probably do it half the time. But not doing it before, took quite a while. From the circuit side of it, we had to kind of think back and redo a few things, like these stepper motors. These aren't the original ones. We were able to go into the 106 lab, and these were just the donated ones, so we were able to use that, thankfully. So I would have probably maybe tested it out a little bit more. And then after the testing phase, we could have added some different features. Like I said, we do have the alphanumeric code, which is it's pretty cool. You just type in a few letters, type in a few numbers, and it's going to print it out for you. But besides that, I think that's it. So once again, I'm Ryan Louder. My partner is Ryan Lewin. And this was the ME106 2D plotter project for San Jose State University.